Based on the research, we can come with several recommendations that are aimed to reduce the negative effect or the undesirable effect of this biofuel policy. First, international trade of biofuel and feedstock have to be liberalized in order to allow access to deeper markets and to eliminate the pressure on some specific commodities that are currently the focus of biofuel processor due to protectionist policies. Now, optimally, we will also argue in favor of the elimination of all distortive policies in this sector, and in particular the mandate, in order to avoid policy-driven conflict between food and non-food of natural resources. No, sorry, I will redo it. Based on our research, we can come with several recommendations aimed to reduce the negative aspect of the biofuel policies. The first one is to promote international trade of biofuel and the feedstock associated, and to eliminate all restrictions related to this trade. The goal is to allow access to deeper markets and eliminate the pressure on specific commodities. Then, optimally, we should ask for the removal of all distortive policies concerning biofuel, and first of all the mandate. Here we want to avoid that policy-driven conflicts between food and non-food use of natural resources and agricultural commodities occur. From a political point of view, this type of request can be quite challenging to implement. And if we cannot get the elimination of all this kind of distortion, we should at all costs get more flexibility in these policies. Mandate level has to be revised to take into account current gaps between supply and demand. Similarly, we may want to define the level of subsidies, in particular to reduce them when agricultural prices are quite high. Yep. Last page. Last page.
This?
No, I've already done it. So, if policymakers want to maintain support for biofuel producers, it really has to be done through price incentive instead of quantitative constraints. And here we can make a parallel between how biofuel policy can be reformed and what has been done in the field of agricultural policies at the WTO and during the round negotiation. First of all, we have to keep in mind that if we want that the reform of biofuel policies become effective, it has to be done in a cooperative way among all the large economies that have implemented this type of policies. We want policy coordination, we want policy harmonization. Obviously, if one country decides to bring more flexibility and to reduce the ambition of a mandate when agricultural prices start to go up, but other users and consumers of biofuel do not follow the same approach, we will not get the expected results. So we want to develop a global framework that will improve coordination and will give incentive to countries to move together in the right direction. And then we can think about a three-step procedure. First, we go for the tarification of all existing quantitative policies, meaning that we replace mandate by subsidies. specific or ad valorem, but what is important is that now we will start to have price mechanism at stake. We will have elastic demand, and we will have a tool that is much more transparent to monitor and also to negotiate. Then this level of subsidies have to be bound, meaning that countries will accept to not increase subsidies in the future, and in particular if agricultural prices go up and the cost of biofuel producers go up, they will resist any pressure to support this sector more deeply. And from this situation we can now define a schedule of removal for these subsidies, a rate of reduction that will first of course eliminate distortion, but also give clear incentive for the next generation of biofuel to emerge. Indeed, today the third generation of biofuel is a very important competitor to the second and third generation. So by having this policy that will strictly show that we phase out the support for the third generation in the incoming years, we give more incentives to develop the next generation. Still, policymakers may want to support the biofuel industry for different reasons, but in this case they should really go for less distortive tools, and at the end go for the same kind of decoupled payment that we have seen with farm support. You give money to the industry, but it's not tied to the level of prices, it's not tied to the level of production. So all these reforms should help to eliminate the negative effect of this biofuel policy on price instability. Obviously, it also means that we are reallocating a part of the risk to the biofuel industry. Their demand is no more guaranteed. They might not get additional support when prices go up. But we do not say that government should not support this industry. They may have other reasons. For instance, it can contribute to energy security. It can reduce the pressure of the energy bill on the current account. And as it can be shown, some biofuel using some production pathway can really deliver emission saving. So for these positive externalities, government can still make transfer to biofuel. Indeed, there is no reason that the risk insurance of the biofuel value chain has to be paid by increased food insecurity for the poorest people on the planet.